Hey there, Steve Nixon here with Freejazzlessons.com. Thanks for joining me here for today's tutorial. Okay, so in most jazz tunes, you're gonna find a combination of three main chord types: major chords, minor chords, and dominant chords. Now, you will see some other chord types mixed in there, but the majority of the time you're gonna see major, minor, and dominant. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so in today's tutorial, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach you how to play 4 very professional sounding and very useful minor chord voicings. These are plug and play voicings. You can throw them right into your tunes if you wanted to play solo piano or accompany a singer or just sort of lay down some chords and enjoy the sound of there. So very useful. All right, let's step over the piano. Let's get started learning. Thanks. All right, so let's explore some of these minor voicings here. So just as a reminder, one of the big reasons that we learn different minor voicings, or we even learn different voicings for any type of chord, is we want variety. You know, we don't want to play the same stock voicings every single time that we see, you know, a minor chord in a lead sheet or in a tune. If you do that, that's a very quick way to bore your listener. You know, we definitely don't want that. So, you know, you wouldn't eat the same food at every single meal, you know, 3 meals a day, 365 days a year. You'd get bored of that, right? So we don't want to use the same voicing every single time, okay? So we're going to use the example key of C minor in this particular tutorial, all right? So most people who don't know very much about jazz will say, oh yeah, C minor 7, okay, cool, I know how to play that chord. And they'll play it like this. Yes, this is a C minor 7 chord, but not the most interesting C minor 7 chord. Most professionals will not use this voicing. They're going to use something with a little bit more color. But this is, of course, a traditional C minor 7. Okay, so we have our root, our flat 3rd, our 5th, our flat 7th. But again, let's add some color now. Okay, so instead of this voicing, I'm going to play this voicing instead. And what this is a C minor with an add 9 or an add 2. All right, they're really the same thing. It depends on what you want to call it there. All right, so what we have here, we have the root, which is C, D is that 9 or that 2, E flat is the flat 3rd, G is that 5th. Okay, so the 2 and the 9 are the same. Here I'm calling it the 2, right? But check me out here. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So D is a 9. It's also the 2. So depending on what you want to call it here. All right, so real sweet sounding, kind of melancholy voicing here, very colorful. So let's take a listen to like a couple bars of Summertime just featuring this voice. So etc, etc. So you can hear that color right there, all right? So practice this voicing in as many keys as you can. Try throwing it into a tune. Real cool sounding chord there. All right, so now the next voicing that we're gonna explore here is a C minor major 7 chord with a 9, okay? So I'll throw down this reference root here, okay? So we have a major 7 now, all right? D is that 9, E flat is the flat 3rd, G is that 5th. So check this voicing out. Kind of spooky sounding voicing, right? But really colorful, really powerful, all right? So you'll hear this voicing used in tons of different jazz tunes. You'll hear it in a sentimental mood, tons of other minor tunes. You could really kind of sprinkle it in anywhere. Another place you'll hear this particular voicing is at the end of a lot of spy movies. So if you ever watched any James Bond movies at all, you'll hear like, right? So they'll arpeggiate up and kind of creates this sense of mystery there. If you've ever seen any old Batman shows featuring Adam West, real early Batman stuff, they also would see, you'd hear that at the very end of the show. So you would hear, that kind of sound right there. And they'd say, next week, Batman is gonna beat up Joker again for the 95th episode in a row, or whatever is going on in that particular episode there. So since this chord is so powerful, they'll use it quite a bit in cinema and TV as well. All right, so our next voicing we're gonna explore now is a minor 7 chord with a 9. So check me out here, okay? So we're gonna throw down this reference root here, this C. We're gonna play B flat, which is the flat 7, D is that 9, E flat is the flat 3rd, G is the 5th. So check out this voicing all together. Real nice sounding voicing. I'm sure you've heard this voicing a ton of times, all right? So it's similar to what we had in the previous voicing, but we're moving that major 7th down into a minor 7th. And really pay close attention to how just that half step motion really changed the sound of the chord. Half steps are really everything in harmony, all right? So don't ignore half steps. Okay, so you can use this voicing in tons of different tunes. It's sort of a bread and butter voicing, a stock voicing. A lot of people will just say, hey, you know what? This is my minor voicing. This is what I play like 100% of the time. So very popular. I recommend you get as comfortable as you can with this. Learn it in as many keys as you can. Here it is, for example, in the key of E flat minor. Here's A flat minor, G minor, E minor, D minor, C minor, every key you can. All right, so for the sake of time here, we're just gonna go over one more chord in this tutorial, but as a reminder, there are tons more minor chords to explore, but I promise this chord is gonna be a good one, okay? So here is the voicing here. So we have now a C minor 6/9, okay? So let me throw down this reference root, our C, okay? So we have A here, all right, which is the 6th, D is the 9, E flat is a flat 3rd, G is the 5th, all right? So check this out. Real nice sounding chord, and again, half step lower than we had before. Here it is in context of a chord progression. So I know you've heard that sound before as well. Very popular sound, great sounding jazz chord. Make sure you also spend time learning this in as many keys as you can as well. So here it is, for example, in the key of C. Here it is in the key of D, in D minor. Here it is in E minor. So here it is in G flat minor or F sharp minor. So you want to work to get control of these chords in as many keys as you can. All right, thank you so much for watching. A lot of cool little techniques going on here. In our next tutorial in this series, we're going to be exploring more dominant chords, all right? So stick with me through this journey. Enjoy your practice. We have a lot more good stuff going on here, and I'll see you again very soon.